Hello, Mr. Brown here, your science teacher. I make science videos for students of all ages. Today, gather the family together and let's check out the science of the Pacific Ocean. All right, so our journey starts at this little strip of land connecting North America to South America. This little strip of land is called Panama. And someone got the idea, hey, let's dig a ditch and connect the two oceans. And they call that the Panama Canal. All right, the Panama Canal is a way for ships to go from the Atlantic Ocean into the Pacific Ocean. All right, and it is very busy. You can see that a lot of the trade that goes on between the world utilizes that little ditch dug right between these two oceans. All right, here we see a shot of the busy Panama Canal with ships coming and going at all times. Now, what's interesting is from one ocean to the other, you got to get the ships up a mountain and then down the other side. Okay, how do they do that? Well, they use what are called locks, a system of gates that close and water pumps in, rising the ship up, and then takes you back down to the other side. All right, and let's see, here is a better picture of the locks. So you can see on one side, the water is about 30 feet different than the other side. And that's how they do it. Boats just go through these gates, they lock it in, pump water, and move them through. And is that an aircraft carrier? They're squeezing through there, so they get lots of traffic. Okay, so the Panama Canal, built 1903 to 1914. Wow, this was a big work project. Here you can see them working on those massive doors of the locks, and it was brutal. Over 5,000 people died building this thing. And you'd think, well, what do they die of? Like, explosions or whatnot? No, mosquitoes. This is what they had to deal with. The Panama rainforest. Most of these guys died of malaria. All right. And they got it done, though. Here we see where the ships go through the Panama Canal. All right, next, let's journey out into the ocean to the famous Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos are an interesting set of islands right on the equator. You've got volcanoes going on. Well, this is an extinct volcano. That's cool, but we've got the largest tortoises in the world famous Galapagos tortoise, some of them 255 years old. That's an old tortoise. Out in the water, we have whale sharks, the world's biggest fish, and we also have the Galapagos marine iguanas. Well, what do you guys eat? Oh, they go underwater and nibble on algae. Interesting. All right, so let's move up the coast, and we're headed to this part of Mexico called Baja Mexico. You see how that just sticks out right into the Pacific Ocean. In fact, it's a peninsula, a piece of land almost surrounded by water or projecting out into a body of water. Yeah, I would say that meets the criteria for a peninsula. And this is what it looks like from space. I think I see a little dust storm going on in this photo. Anyway, let's go down to the very end of this peninsula. Here's a shot of it from orbit. All right, looks pretty cool. And we find Cabo San Lucas right at the end of that. And whoa, we got spring break going on here. Hey, well, listen, I don't have time for all this. We're here for science, all right? You guys carry on. We are here for cool science like sea stacks. All right, I like that. We can go ahead and rent a boat charter and look around, maybe see some humpback whales flopping around on their backs. All right, that's cool. Maybe even a sea lion will come up and talk to us. And we can even rent these little underwater exploring bubble things. Or maybe go scuba diving and check out the fish, all right? And I'm not even sure if you're supposed to be doing that. You see this guy, he's like taking a ride on this manta ray. Are you even supposed to do that? I don't know. All right, let's move up the coast and head to Tijuana. Tijuana, Mexico is right on the border with the United States of America. In fact, you can even see right here is the border. That's the wall that separates the US from Mexico. All right. And here's actually a little closer view of that separation wall. Visiting Tijuana is fun, very friendly, colorful, a lot of stuff to do. Let's stop and pick up some fried octopus. Extra tentacles for me, please. All right, you want to watch out for the Mexican police force. These look like some pretty tough dudes. Yeah, machine guns, face masks. We'll let you guys be. In fact, I'm getting a little uncomfortable and I'm ready to head back to the US, but we're going to have to wait in line at the Border Patrol before they let us through. All right, so we made it through and we're in San Diego, California. Beautiful San Diego. Look at that. What San Diego is known for is military. This giant military base is located right in San Diego. And if you look closely at the waves there coming in on the island, you might spot U.S. Navy SEALs training. Also, you will see really cool Navy ships coming in to get resupplied, to get repaired. It is a busy military town. You also have the United States Marine Corps training the next generation of Marines. All right. Don't forget to stop at the San Diego Zoo. All right. So there is a place in San Diego called the Mission Beach where you can hang out and do some water sports and whatnot. They also have SeaWorld, where they used to do this. They had these orcas performing tricks, but they don't do that anymore. They stopped doing that a while back. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back out into the ocean and go up to Northern California to a place called San Francisco, where we see the Golden Gate Bridge. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And let's climb up to the top of that bridge and look down. Pretty cool. All right, so the ocean flows into San Diego, forming San Diego Bay, and there's some islands in there. One of the islands is the world famous Alcatraz Prison Island. They shut down in 1963, and today it's open to the public, right? In fact, you can see Alcatraz way in the background of this photo there. That's pretty cool. All right, San Francisco, home to the 1960s hippie movement. Peace and love, my friends. Peace and love. All right, moving on down the coast is we are going to go all the way up to Alaska. All right, I showed you this picture here. This is nighttime in America, and I wanted to show you just how dark it is because there's not a whole lot of people in Alaska here. All right, we're coming into the city of Valdez, Alaska, home of an incredible 1964 earthquake. Look at this earthquake, destruction. Wow, this thing hit 9.2 on the Richter scale and caused a lot of damage. Look at this stuff going on here. Wow, they got hit really bad. It even ripped apart their railroad tracks and threw boats around, but they're okay today. All right, moving on. Let's go to the deepest part of the world. We're going to the other side of the Pacific, the Challenger Deep. We are, a couple hundred miles off the coast of the Philippines, and it's deep. It really is. It goes way down there. In fact, 7 miles deep. It's so deep that if you picked up Mount Everest and threw it in there, you'd still have, 2,000 meters left over. That's really deep. They actually sent a crew down there in the 1960s to visit it. And here's a painting of what it looked like way down at the bottom. In fact, more people have been to the moon than have been to Challenger Deep. And when you're down there, you'll see some strange looking fish. What is going on with these guys? You'll see some I don't even know what that is. And what else we got here? Goblin sharks and Dumbo octopus. Interesting. All right, next, let's get out of there and head way in the middle of the Pacific to the island chain of Hawaii. And I mean, it is way out there. Look at these numbers, thousands of miles from anywhere of the nearest land. Hawaii is so isolated. Look at, there's Hawaii there in the middle of this giant ocean. Just to stress this, we're up in the International Space Station and we're looking down on Hawaii, and you can see for as far as you can see around the curvature of the Earth, there's nobody. Hawaii is way out there. This graphic shows just how stretched out Hawaii is, superimposed over Wisconsin. Now, Hawaii is mountains, and just the tippy tops are poking up out of the water, and those are the Hawaiian Islands. Let's go ahead and drain the ocean. All right, boop, there it is, drained out, and you can see that the Hawaiian Islands are just mountains with just the tippy tops sticking up out of the waves. All right, let's go to Kauai, the Garden Island, the beautiful island of Kauai, one of the Hawaiian Islands, known for its really rugged Nepali coast. Look at that, these little secret beaches down in there, and you can go hiking, and it is about 5 million years old, which geologically, that's just a baby. But how did all these plants and animals get there? That's a really cool science question. You know, scientists speculate migrating birds can carry seeds, or ocean rafting on pieces of driftwood, or storms can blow stuff in. However it happened, today, Kauai is really pretty peaceful. Look, there's some beaches and some resorts you can hang out, but it's got some really dramatic landscapes. Look at this canyon here, and way down there in the bottom is where they filmed the movies Jurassic Park. Now here's an interesting science question. When did the first humans arrive? I don't know. According to this, AD 900, the first humans. Well, according to this, it says AD 300. And according to this, it says AD 600. I don't know. I can't find the right information. All I know is that this is what it looked like when the very first peoples made it to Hawaii, at least 1,000 years ago. And they like to romanticize on how cool it is. But what you got to remember, oceans are dangerous. So for every one of those boats that made it, there's probably another one that never made it. Yeah, storms, capsized. Yeah. Anyway, the Disney movie Moana talks about this part. And did you know that Moana takes place 2,000 years ago? That's the setting of that movie. And Disney actually does a pretty decent job scientifically. Anyway, we know that they reached Hawaii. There are ancient Hawaii rock art still available, and they existed there for about 1,000 years before the first European came along. Captain James Cook reaches the islands in 1778, and things go really bad. If you take a look at these photos, you can see it did not go well. The first Europeans meeting the natives of Hawaii. Yeah. And then in 1941, the Air Force of Japan met the Navy of the Americans at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and that didn't go well either. Yeah, so Hawaii has had some issues in the past, but today it is beautiful. All right, so I'll leave you on this beautiful sunset view of Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii, as we wrap up the science of the Pacific Ocean. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.